Hello all, welcome to Monday Night Live 45. We are almost 12 months through from the first ever. Well, it was back then, it was Friday Night Live. So next week will be the anniversary edition. So looking forward to that. So that should be really, really good. So lots and lots and lots of things happening tonight. I'm just getting the comments up here if you're wondering what the devil I'm doing. So Nick's here, Tom's here, Warren's here. G'day Warren. Warren was instrumental in helping on the weekend. He was both him and Dustin. We had our grand opening on Saturday, which was a huge success, about 150 people. I really need to apologise to a few people. I couldn't quite get around everyone, and we were absolutely slammed. So yes, it was a wonderful, wonderful day here in the shop. But Warren was here from NQ Explorers, and Dustin from Gold Rat, and Craig from Aussie Metal Detecting. Just such an amazing day. So thank you everyone that came along. So for those who don't know, I'm Ben from Gold Diggers. We do this every Monday night, and this is Monday Night Live. Every Monday night we give away prizes. Tonight's prize, what's tonight's prize? This is tonight's prize. Is a solar panel charger. We'll charge your phone, we'll charge AA batteries, we'll do all sorts of cool stuff. Comes with a set of AA batteries. You can plug your phone in it just to recharge it. These are the proper Gold Zero ones. We sell these for about 150 bucks. So these are just phenomenal. So there's a lot of knockoffs on the market, but this isn't one of them. And then of course, got a couple of coffee mugs on the go too. So tonight's show, there's a lot of people here. Billy, David, Nick, Russell, Derek, Donnie's here. Donnie's very important. We've got a lot to do tonight. So Donnie is from Pasco Prospecting. Let me just put up Pasco Lads Prospecting. That's these guys here. Now he was running a promotion that if you liked his his YouTube page and sent him a PM with your name and address, he is giving away a stack of prizes. Now, because he's a great supporter of the show, and we're a great supporter of his, Donnie was the one who put on the events up in North Queensland. So he asked me if we could draw the prizes on tonight's show live. So that's exactly what we're going to do. So, first prize is a Gold Rat from our friends at Gold Rat, a little backpacker sluice. That's a phenomenal little sluice. Actually, third prize is a Garrett backpack, and second prize, whoa, as everything falls over here, is the old favourite Garrett Gold Pen kit. So you've still got till about 8:15, which is in about 45 minutes for those of you in other parts of the country and world, to do that. So what you actually need to do is hit the bell and send Donnie a PM. So Donnie's here. So yes, so that's what you've got to do, and you can go into the draw, win that. Now later on in the show, you will have to bear with me a little bit because Donnie's going to send over all the people, and I have to put it into our randomizer. So it will be a little bit hectic there for a minute or two. But yes, so that's what's happening tonight. They're the prizes for tonight. They're sort of going everywhere here, but that's fine. They're allowed to go everywhere. Okay, so tonight's show is a mystery bushranger. I didn't want to do a normal bushranger. I didn't want to do Ned Kelly, although it is the anniversary of Ned Kelly's death, I believe, this week. So a lot of people were thrown by that. Let me get rid of all this rubbish here. We'll just get rid of all that. So that sparked the bushranger episode. Now, I didn't want to tell everyone who the bushranger in question was, and it turned into a bit of a guessing game on the link. And I offered up a couple of mugs to the first person that got it, and then one person got it, and then we did a second cup. So out of, I don't know how many comments, a couple of hundred comments, only 2 people from last Wednesday or Thursday when I put the link up, only 2 people got it correct. So it was just it was incredible how many people didn't really click onto it. Even when I said someone's got it, no one really got it. So right, so young guns are here. Damo, Mick, Andrew, Haley, all the guys up there. Baz is here. Baz is still getting some good gold. Ray, Luke, Dale. I've got to mention also Darren, one of the coolest things I've seen in a long time. Darren put up a post just before. He's he put up a post with a picture of his high banker, getting ready to run 200 litres of dirt through the high banker while watching Monday Night Live. I reckon that's a great way to watch Monday Night Live. Wash some dirt. So good on you, Darren. That's awesome, mate. It's one of the best comments I've heard in a long time. So well done, mate. Right, so this is another hint too. What's behind me as to who our mysterious bushranger is tonight, and I will tell you. Rodney's here. Yes, I've heard of Jessie Hickman. Yes, she was. If memory serves me correctly, Australia's only female bushranger. So Jessie. So there's a big story on Jessie. It's a really good story. If you ever get a chance to have a look at Jessie Hickman's story, we might even do that one night. So Johnny Crockford's here. G'day, John. How are you, Adam? Right, so there's only 2 people who got it correct, and they're both regulars. The first person to get it right is Kyla Bloom. Kyla's always here, always commenting. Well done, Kyla. So, Kyla, I'm going to send you a mug. And the only other person to get it right was another regular who's on here all the time, is Lynn Dutch. So, congratulations, you guys. You guys guessed correctly. So well done for that. Now, who is it? Is the big question. So let's see. I don't think anyone's guessed it in the comments as yet. But let me just see if I can give you a bit. Oh, hang on. What have I done here? A bit bigger hint. There's a yes. Let me just see if we can. Here's another hint, and this is why the background is part of the hint. So yes, congratulations, Lynn. Well done. Zoran's here. Stephen's here. Clyde's here. Craig's here. Chris. Lots and lots of people here. So has anyone got any ideas yet? So that will be that there is a big hint. So yes, Mario's here. G'day, Mario. Treasure Hunters New South Wales and Central Coast Recovery Team. What a handle, big long name. Okay, I'll put you out of your misery. Tonight's bushranger is the Birdman of Kerrang. Yes, Nadia's got it right. Nadia, well done. So the Birdman of Kerrang, one of the most fascinating stories, and it's one of these stories that it's a bit like a Lassiter's story, really. So there's all this conjecture about whether it's actually true or not, whether this is just a made-up thing for the tourist board. Who really knows? But it's a fascinating story. So let's. Rodney's here. G'day, Rodney and Charlie. How you going? Mark's here. Now, Coorang, the Coorang, I should say, is. Let me just shrink me down here, because no one's really. So, this is South Australia, just down the road from Adelaide, and it's a bit hard to see on that, but all that green you can see along the coastline there is actually like a swamp area or a beach area. Big sand dunes, and this is where our story, it's not where it begins, but it's certainly where it ends. So let me just set the scene a little bit here. Oscar's here, Sherry's here, Jason's here, Melissa. Good to see you all guys. So, John Francis Peggotty. We're talking, he was born in 1864, and he wrote a letter to his father wrote a letter to his brother at the time, and just saying that, saying that there was little hope that the boy would live. He cannot tip the scales against a medium-sized bird, which people sort of think that means about 1.5 kilos. So, Coorang, Mark's corrected my pronunciation there. So, John Francis Peggotty was, he didn't grow up, so he got to the maximum size of about a 7-year-old boy. So he was only very, very small. He certainly, so, and when he left home at the age of 18, I've got to read this bit, I can't remember this bit, his father wrote, "As we farewelled him, I realised anew that he was the stature of quite a small boy. I cannot think of what occupation he could apply himself to, which he would prosper." So, yes, so very, very, very small fella, leaving home at the age of 18. So, while we might just take a short break for a, well, it's actually more of an ad break. So these are the ads that the Bush Users Group United have put together with the Victorian election coming up on the weekend. It's very important that you take your time if you're Victorian and vote for the right people. So we'll just throw this ad up. It's a good one of the 3 ads we'll play tonight. So here we go.
Look, Pa, there's a flower.
Sorry, Isabel, you can't take that. It's on the park side of the fence.
What do you mean?
Well, in days gone by, the parks were for everyone. You could go camping, horse riding, motorbike riding, lots of exciting things.
What happened?
We didn't stand up against the green groups of the day, and we let them tell us what we could and couldn't do.
Is this our future, or will you stand up and say no to more national parks? Your vote is your access. Make it count.
Authorised by Bill Schultz for the Bush User Groups United Maryborough.
Okay, so there we go. Just really good ads, but it's very important. And I've put in the comment section, there's a petition started there by Ruthie. I've put Ruthie's page in there. Also a link to the petition. There's over 35,500 signatures on it. So if you haven't got on there, make sure you log on there and sign the petition, because they want to lock up huge amounts of area in Victoria, and these, and I suppose if you're a prospector or you're interested in not having the bush locked up, I would think that the last people you'd want to vote for is the Greens down there. Rodney asks, how many signatures do they need? 200 million, Rodney, stacks of them. I mean, the most important thing, is that we sign that petition, and it can be presented to the government. So yes, the Greens and the Labor Party are probably not someone who you want to vote for if you're in Victoria. If you enjoy prospecting, camping, four-wheel driving, riding a horse, so in the bush. So anyway, let's get back to our man here. So we're 18. He's getting on a boat, right? He ends up going to South Africa, and in South Africa, and I couldn't find an old picture of it, but I've got a modern day picture of it. But he got into this caper. He got into riding ostriches. Apparently, it's almost like a national sport, a national pastime down there. Ostrich riding. So they put a little saddle on this ostrich, right, and they put a rope around its neck. I think it's a bit more like, I don't think it's a rope around the neck, but I think it's you know, they like reins, I suppose. I don't know whether there's I don't know whether it's a rope around the neck as such, but reins anyway. And they ride. It's a competition like horse racing, so they ride around. Yeah, you ride around on these ostriches. So that's all we really know of what happened in there. The next time we hear about our mate Johnny Francis was back in London. He came back to London at some stage and was arrested in London because he'd taken up, because of his small size, he'd taken up dropping down chimneys and stealing jewellery, and he got arrested in London and was sentenced to 15 years of jail. What got him caught, he was living in a boarding house in London, and the landlady, the person in charge of the boarding house, found it quite suspicious that he'd run around the boarding house half naked, draped in all this necklaces and jewellery and chains. So that's how he got caught. So yes. So he got 15 years, but was shortened to 5 years. And I'd say that he certainly used his youth or his small stature to get out of jail early. So yes. So that's what he did. So he only ended up spending 5 years in jail. So it's a great photo, this. Yes, Jid's here, Scott's here, Daryl's put a link to the story if you want more effort. Lots of people are responding to Donnie. I'm going to have a big list for you to send me, Donnie. Yes, so Roger's here, Mark's here, Darren's here, Tony, CQ Detectorists are in the house. Yes, so they're good. They had a big meeting on Saturday, a big get together It was at a pub. I don't know how much they achieved, but they certainly went there. So, right, so he, back to Johnny here. So Johnny then travelled to Australia. He's out of London, and he had a uncle that we talked about earlier. His uncle was in Australia. He was a sheep farmer near Orange, actually, and just hang on a tick here. Peter. There's a couple of the Bush Users Group United on here tonight. Peter asked, is there a link to the ads I want to share elsewhere? Certainly on Bush Users Group United page, you can get those ads from. That's where I knocked them off okay, so he's on a ship, Australia, gone to see his uncle in the Orange district to work on the sheep farm. Now, he wrote a letter back to his the uncle wrote a letter back to his father. And I've got to read this, of course. He was very strong and active, but was not inclined to work. He would loiter around the house all day and had the unfortunate habit of borrowing my wife's jewellery and adorning himself in it. I must confess, I'm not sorry to see him go. So he didn't last long. He didn't last long with his working for his uncle on the sheep property. Right, so off he goes to Adelaide. He's got some friends in Adelaide. He knows of someone in Adelaide, and he ends up turning back to crime. And he ends up being he gets a whole stack of young fellas, urchins, sets up this gang of people who drop down chimneys and steal stuff exactly like he was doing in London, exactly the same way. And the unique now, I think he's a very clever bloke, this bloke. He never did any of the crimes himself. He paid these young blokes a wage every week, and he sent them off to do his dirty work. So over a 3-year period, the gang was responsible for stealing more than £30,000 worth of jewellery, all high-end jewellery, and worth millions today. So just a proper old-fashioned thief, and that continued on until we get to the Birdman part of the story. So they were like the reverse Santa Clauses, these guys. So drop down the chimney and take things. So he appeared then around in 1898, right? He held up a guy, a lone traveller, right? He was riding an ostrich, like this fella, right? Riding an ostrich, naked above the waist, right? Covered in jewellery, absolutely covered in jewellery. Like, this bloke was the just the most eccentric bushranger ever heard of. So this bloke's mad. So he continued to rob people around this area here, near the lakes up the top here, wherever we are, near the lakes. Any travellers, he would thieve off them. He would he actually murdered 2 people. And at first the police didn't believe it. Of course, who would believe the story of someone coming in saying there's a bloke riding an ostrich on a big giant bird, riding around half naked, covered in jewellery, sticking people up with pistols. So, you know, you wouldn't believe about it. You wouldn't believe it. Like, so these coppers didn't believe it. What's the most clever thing is after he'd done this a number of times and he'd killed someone, he'd killed a couple of people, the coppers at the time thought, well, right, we'll go out and see if we can round this bloke up. So they've gone out to round this bloke up on their horses, all mounted, big mob of them, right? And they find him on his ostrich, covered in jewellery, right, half naked, right, riding around. You can imagine, 7-year-old boy on an ostrich, you know. That's the size of him, 7 years old. Anyway. So anyway, the police are chasing him. The thing that I find most clever about this bloke is he's quite smart, because he's in sand dune country, steep sand dunes, and of course the coppers on the horses, the ostrich just runs up the sand dunes, no trouble at all. They're used to being on the sand. The horses just sunk in, they couldn't follow him, so they just unbelievable how smart it was. I don't know whether it was by design or just by fluke, but he's got the perfect mount for the conditions, and the police can't follow him over these big sand dunes because the horses can't ride up the sand dunes. Anyway, so that's our little mate. So he's running riot just to the east of Adelaide, robbing people everywhere, left, right and centre, and just causing mayhem, riding an ostrich covered in jewellery. Anyway, and I'd just like to mention too, this is South Australia's only bushranger, right? So when the South Australians do something, they do something seriously. So it's phenomenal. Anyway, let me just take another quick break here. We'll do the second bush access group for United ad, because they're important for this weekend. So here we go.
The new restrictive parks proposal will put an end to camping, horse riding, motorbike riding, prospecting and more. Don't lock us and future generations out. Your vote is your access. Make it count.
Authorised by Bill Schultz for the Bush User Groups United Maryborough.
The new restrict.
Okay, so here we go. This is the old wanted poster. So here he is on his, hang on, let me point to him here. Here he is on his horse, covered in jewellery. Not his horse, his ostrich, half naked, covered in his jewellery, holding the bloke up. So this is actually the wanted. This is a wanted poster of him. So you can imagine that rolling out of the bush at you. So anyway. So stacks and stacks of robberies, dozens of robberies before he meets his match. So in 1899, so late 1899, he meets a bloke called. He tries to hold up a bloke called Henry Carmichael. Now, Henry Carmichael was a fisherman, fishing the area, and Henry Carmichael was apparently quite good with a rifle, and he had a rifle with him. And so the Birdman and Carmichael got into a bit of a stoush. The Birdman let off a couple of shots, and Carmichael pulls his rifle out, and yes, so Carmichael had a horse there. Okay, once the interchange, the shots were fired. Back in those days, of course, single shot pistols. So the Birdman obviously probably pretty hard to reload a single shot pistol on the back of an ostrich. I've never tried it myself, but I can imagine it being fairly difficult. So Carmichael's up after him. The Birdman takes off on his ostrich, and Carmichael's after him. And Carmichael's has shot at him, and so anyway, Carmichael knew that there was a reward for his capture, so Carmichael takes off after him on his horse. So this is a section that was in the report that Carmichael made to the police, and I just want to read you this quick bit. I could see the jewellery hanging around his body and arms. He said, many thousands pounds worth. It made a good target. So you can just imagine. There's this bloke, rifle. There's a bloke that looks like a little boy riding an ostrich covered in jewellery. So I find this highly amusing. This is great. So anyway, it turns Carmichael gets a shot away on the. He gets a shot away and he shoots the ostrich. Now the ostrich still keeps running, but he can tell he shot the ostrich. And after he shoots the ostrich goes over the top of a sand dune. So Carmichael, not a big sand dune, but a little reasonable size sand. Carmichael goes up to the top of the sand dune, reloads his rifle, and shoots at the Birdman, and he. Oh, sorry, I might have missed a bit here, but Carmichael knew that he'd shot him because there was blood. When he got to the top of the dune where he'd made the shot, there was blood and there was a chain. There was a gold chain there. So then Carmichael's at the top of the thing. The Birdman's down the bottom of the sand dune. He takes his time, has a shot, and he shoots the head off the ostrich. And of course, a headless ostrich probably behaves pretty similar to a headless chicken, and it runs around, and Carmichael then takes his shot and shoots the Birdman, right? So it took Carmichael half an hour to get to where he shot the Birdman, and he could see that that there was a thick trail of blood heading off into the scrub, as well as some of the jewellery. Yes, so by all reports, that Carmichael didn't want to follow him into the scrub when he was armed, so he went off to report it to the police. So yes, everyone's asking if it's an ostrich or an emu. No, we're talking ostrich. There was a stack of, in South Australia, there was a stack of ostrich farms at the time for the feathers. And I think, I tried to look this up, but I believe there's still ostriches, wild ostriches, in that part of South Australia that have been released or escaped from the farms that were there. So I believe there's still ostriches down there. So, yes. Anyway, so Peggotty has crawled off into the scrub. Has never ever been found. So in this area here of South Australia, right, lies Peggotty's remains, covered in jewellery, right, somewhere in there. The big problem, millions of dollars worth of jewellery, the big problem with it is these sands constantly shift. Massive sand dunes. But one day, someone will find what looks like a young boy covered in jewellery and go, what is going on here? But, so anyway, that's the story. Now, with that story, I've rabbited on far too long with this story, but with this story, a lot of people, and the tourists, they play on a little bit. This is the tourist board. I've got the ostrich. You can go and perch yourself on the ostrich, and the full story's written here on a plaque by the that looks like Lake Arthur, I think it is, the lake that he was around. So now you look at some reports, they say, oh no, it's only done for the tourist board, and it's just to promote South Australia. You look at other reports and there's letters from his father saying this small boy, and so I don't know. This is a Lassiter story. Whether this happened or not, I like to believe it did. I like the idea of a little fella riding around on this ostrich, sticking people up. I mean, I don't like the idea he murdered a few people, but it's what a great story. Like, I just love the story. So, right, so that's our story tonight. It's a bit of a story time. I've missed a heap of comments. Caleb's here. Yeah, Caleb makes a good point. You can only imagine Johnny Depp wearing his crow hat as the Birdman. Can you imagine Johnny Depp? Right? There needs to be a movie. We've come to the point of the story. We need to get Johnny Depp on with a moon. We need to get him in the movies, riding an ostrich, right? Sticking people up. That would be a cracking story. I'd go and see that. The Birdman. That would be a great story. Right, so before we get too long, we've got a lot to do in the next 20 minutes or so. Let's just get this ad going here, the third and last ad for tonight.
The government is proposing to restrict access to 700,000 hectares of public land right across the state. This will mean activities like camping, horse riding, collecting firewood, prospecting, forward driving and hunting, even walking your dog will be prohibited or heavily restricted in these areas. Most of the communities viewing this ad at the moment will be affected by these changes. Your vote is your access. Make it count.
Authorised by Bill Schultz of the Bush User Groups United Maryborough.
Right, there's the third ad. Now, guys, so we've got a number of prizes tonight. This Posco Lads Prospecting on YouTube, you really only have about 4 or 5 minutes before Donnie's got to get me this list over, and I've got to throw it in the randomizer. And so the prizes for tonight, third prize is a Garrett backpack. There, so that's the third prize. The second prize, if I can not crash everything here, is Garrett Gold Pan Kit. The first prize is Gold Rat Mini Sluice. It fits in a 20-litre bucket. It's perfect to do a bit of proper prospecting. So you need to, for Donnie's, you need to like this YouTube channel. The link to it is in the top of the comments. So if the comments are there, or there, that's where it'll be, top of the comments. And then you need to send Donnie a message. And now you've only got a few minutes to do it. So Donnie's running around like a headless ostrich, trying to get all this through, and he's got to get it to me in about 5 or 6 minutes. So, so that's that's that bit. Then, for those that don't know, I've joined late. This is Monday Night Live, this amazing show. Monday Night Live, we do this every Monday night, or almost every Monday night. Tonight's prize from us is a solar charger. Will charge your phone, will charge your batteries. This little thing here actually acts as a torch as well. There's a little torch in the end there. Fantastic bit of kit. So to win that, and we're also giving away a couple of mugs. To do that, you need to share this live stream before the end, which is in about 20 minutes time. We'll draw that in about 20 minutes time once I sort out Pasco Lads prospecting prizes. So if you're looking for the link, there's 3 links I've posted. One link at the top of the page is, as the top of the comments, is for the Pasco Lads prospecting website. The second link is Ruthie's Facebook page to read and watch all the investigation that he's done into the Victorian locking up the bush in Victoria. Then the third link is a link to the petition, which will probably be getting close to 36,000 likes now. It's right at the top. Donnie's just posted there the link to his YouTube channel, but you also need to send him a PM to say, look, I've done it, and then he'll get it over to me. Andrew asked a question, when did the metal detector draw in the shop happen? It happened on Saturday afternoon. The winner was David. David's a regular viewer as well, so congratulations, David. David won the 8th Ace 300. Warren drew the prize, so congratulations. And really thank you for everyone that came along. 150 people in a little tiny shop over a couple of hours. Hope everyone enjoyed the sausages. Taylor was doing the gold panning and the sluices out the front. I was chatting to as many people as I possibly could. I know Warren and I didn't pause. Warren, Dustin and I really didn't pause the whole time until about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So, and the other thing I should mention is too, if you've got any questions about detecting or fossicking or the Birdman, give me a call on the number below. And up above that direction is the new shop address. So we've moved from Browns Plains. We're now at Upper Macrovat in a beautiful little shop, which I actually quite like. So, so we've done that. We've got the cup winners. So we are getting close now to closing off the prize for Pasco Lads. So Pasco Lads prospecting, you've only got about a minute or so before Donnie's going to send me over that link, and so you need to send him just PM the addresses to Donnie, and make sure you've liked his YouTube channel. So Ray asks, thanks for the email. Will I get a bag of pay dirt with the 10-inch? Yes, you will. Ray bought a 10-inch Dream Mat. He will get a small bag of pay dirt with that. So thank you for that. Thanks, mate. No, the mugs do not come with a bottle of Coke. They come by themselves. So thanks for that, Kyle. Right. So I think. If Donnie, make the call when you're done. Scott's having trouble accessing the link. Rebecca, they do need your home address, because if you win, we need to post out the gear to you. So yes, Donnie, you don't need to scroll all the way to the top. Donnie's been posting his link to his YouTube channel. So. Right, Warren, I don't know when Warren's back. Warren will be back in the next few weeks, I would imagine. We haven't talked about it. yes, Warren will be here. So Donnie's frozen. Looks like, oh no, don't tell me we've crashed Donnie. Donnie, are you crashed? What an issue. What a major issue. We might have crashed Donnie. So folks, I haven't heard from Donnie just yet. So your personal message, Donnie. So yes, Trevor, I'm more than happy to receive some dark side merchandise, but I much prefer to pay for it, Trevor. Thank you. But yes, I would love to get some, so let me know, mate. Right, Donnie has crashed. We might just, we've fried Donnie. Thank you, everyone. We've fried Donnie. So we might just leave it 5 minutes, actually. We'll just extend it out for 5 minutes. Donnie's too busy getting text messages. Sorry, Donnie. Right, so this is awesome. We've had a fun night tonight. We've learned about a bloke riding an ostrich, and we've crashed Donnie. So awesome stuff. So Lynn Wayne the mug for guessing the Birdman, and so did Kyla. We have to do Donnie's draw. Make sure you get on that link and sign the petition for the Victorians, because that's very important, that. So yeah. Right, Donnie has gone missing. He's getting slammed. Hey, was that a message from Donnie? Done and dusted. Donnie's called it. Has he called it? He's called it. So yes. No, Donnie's called it. He's oh no, he's kept it going. Subscribe away. Oh, good. So I'm going to make the call. 3 minutes you've got. That's it. We can't drag this out all night. Yeah, Mark, when I first heard about the story, it was hilarious. I love this story. Just send Donnie a PM. Guys are asking, how do I PM Donnie? Donnie's in the links. You'll see Donnie Pascoe's name in the link in the comments section. He's got the same, he's got this logo. He's got this logo as his profile picture. So when you spot that, yeah, just send him a PM, and you'll go into the, yes, we haven't closed it yet. So make sure you look for his PM, his little message, and PM him. That's the way to go into the draw. I will fire up the randomizer while we're waiting here. We are going to close this very, very shortly, so be quick. So let's talk about next week's show. Lynn asked how I'm going to top this week's show. I have no idea, Lynn. So, but next week's show is the retro round. We're going to call it the retro round every year. And I have no idea. I really have to sit down and work out what I'm going to do for next week, because it's been 12 months since I did the first one. The first one was horrible, so I don't really want to, go back there. But yeah, it's the retro round next week, so I will work something out and put it up through the week. Yeah, so we may even, because it's the retro round, I think the subject for the first ever show was beginning detectors. So we might even do a beginner show next week. Yes. So we might even do beginning detecting or something along those lines. I will let everyone know on Thursday. So, yes, there's lots of people. Nadia says she hasn't missed a show since the first one. Well, that's very kind of you, Nadia. There's a few of you around, I would think. Brendan, I am not wearing an ostrich costume and jewellery. That is not going to happen. I sort of like people watching the show, not... yeah, we might even do a bloopers reel. There might. Caleb says we should do a bloopers reel. There's enough of them, mate. Don't worry about that. We need about 4 days to do that show. Right, Donnie, we have to close it. It's done. It's 20. We got 10 minutes of the show left. You're done. Right. So anyone who's not in, you've missed out. We've given you an extra 5 minutes. It's done. I have to send me that list over, Donnie, and we'll get this drawn here very, very shortly. Okay, so as soon as I get the list over, I'll run the randomizer and we'll draw these 3 great prizes. Yes. So now also anyone that wasn't able to come to the grand opening on the weekend, I know most people are elsewhere. There's a short video I did of the walk around of the shop, a shop tour. And there's a few photos up from the weekend that a few of the guys sent. So yeah, have a look at that. I didn't want to carry on too much about it. Yes. So yes, we might even we will do a bit of a beginner's go. Yes. Right. Israel's here. G'day, Israel. Lee's here. Ian's here. Caleb's here. Caleb, I can't say that, mate. Sorry. Yes. So a lot of people are trying to get hold of Donnie, but it's all done. Right. So I've got the list now. Donnie's just sent it over here. Yes. So Donnie's saying, I'm sorry I missed people. Do more down the... he'll do more down the track. Donnie's channel is actually quite good. He does a lot of gold monster stuff. He does a lot of just general prospecting, how to read the ground, what to look for. It's actually a pretty good channel, that. So, right, I've got that list, Donnie. It's come through. So let me just bear with me a moment here, guys. I've just got to pull this list up and put it in the random generator, the randomizer as we call it, the steam-driven randomizer, as Warren says. Right, so, okay, here we go. Any other messages there from Donnie? No, we're ready to go. G'day Denise, Brian's here. Scott, Ian, Derek, Mel, Luke, everyone's here. Okay, so here's the randomizer. Let's run the randomizer. So we'll go third to first, I think. So third prize is a Garrett backpack. Good little backpack. You know, great little backpack. It goes out to where we go there. Ray Bass. Ray Bass, congratulations, mate. We're sending that out for Donnie. So congratulations, Ray. I don't know whether you're on here now or some of these. This competition's been running for about a week, almost a week, I think. So, so people may not be on. Right. So then, so the second prize is the pans. Sorry, there's a little glitch there. Second prize is the pan kit. 3 pan kit, upside down. Feel like it's that Mr. Squiggle, upside down. So second prize. Oh, there's a name I know. Beck Smith. Beck Smith, congratulations. You've got that. And for the first prize, the big sluice, well, not the little sluice, the Gold Rat sluice. It's got the Dream Mat in it. Love the Dream Mat. If you've never used Dream Mat, you should give it a crack. It goes to Craig Gincock. So Craig, congratulations, you won the Gold Rat Sluice, the little bushwalker sluice. So you'll have a lot of fun with that, Craig. So we'll get that out to you after the show. We're responsible for the postage on those guys. So then we might go the coffee mugs first. So coffee mugs for the shares tonight. We're closing up the shares now too. Coffee mugs, of course. Lynn and Kyla have already won the coffee mugs for their great guessing, but this is the coffee mug, Gold Digger's coffee mug. James wins the first coffee mug. I don't know where James is from, but I will contact you straight after the show. No, I don't know where James is from. The second winner of the coffee mug, whichever way that coffee mug looks best, goes to Yvonne. Yvonne, where are you from, Yvonne? I think she's in Brisbane. So Yvonne, congratulations, you won a Gold Digger's coffee mug. And then the big prize, which is the Gold Zero battery, solar panel and battery charger. Comes with the rechargeable batteries already in it. This little doohickey here actually acts as a battery pack, a torch. You can plug your phone into it and it'll charge. And it's got a solar panel to charge that fella. So great little kit. And let me just get it up here. Ding, ding, ding. This goes to Christopher Jurek. Christopher, congratulations, mate. You won that prize. Now, I think I've drawn all the prizes. We've given away a stack of coffee mugs, the charger. We've given away all that gear. It's a bit, I don't know what's going on here. So many prizes to give away. So, Ray, is Ray here somewhere? Ray, you won a prize. Yeah, Ray Bass. Ray won a prize. What did Ray win? Ray won the bag. Well done, Ray. So, right. Okay, guys. Well, that's everything for tonight. One of the funniest stories about bushrangers I could find. Hopefully, a lot of you didn't know that story and found it fairly interesting. It certainly interests me. With the, I just can't get over this. Hang on, this here. I can't get over this. A bloke riding an ostrich with a gun. That's awesome. That's quality. Only in Australia. Okay, folks. Well, that's the end of the show tonight. Please join us next week for the retro round. We'll work something out. We'll do a bit of beginners, maybe some outtakes. Thank you to Donnie for the prizes, letting us draw those prizes tonight, mate. Good luck with that YouTube channel. I hope you got a few. And I will see everyone next week. So this has been Monday Night Live 45.